Golive TV. Download the app now.
Hello, Richard Boraks again. Since February 2018, Ahmed Hussein and his team, including Julie Derowitz, the MP from Toronto Davenport, have taken every opportunity to stop Portuguese, Italians, and Hispanics becoming permanent residents, landed immigrants. Mr. Hussein and Ms. Derowitz have broken their promises. They have actively misled the communities. They have misled Portugal. They've misled their own communities, and they've misled foreign governments, friendly foreign governments. Ahmed Hussein and Julie Derowitz thought that they could mislead and get away with their misbehavior. Well, they failed. Ahmed Hussein and Julie Derowitz are now facing the consequences. They have underestimated the resolve of those they have hurt, and they hurt plenty. They are on course to lose their districts, their ridings, in this October's election. Mr. Hussein represents York South-Weston, which is the Edmonton-Lawrence area by Black Creek. They will be out this October. Julie will have to find a job. Ahmed will return to being an immigration lawyer under a conservative government. These are not just my opinions. These are the predictions of very qualified experts. Their predictions can be found on a neutral website called 338. This website is respected by all politicians and all political organizations in the country. So, if we can have the charts for Mr. Hussein's writing. Now, these are the predictions for Ahmed Hussein's writing this October. Mr. Hussein is predicted to lose. He's predicted to lose heavy. He has a 1/3 chance of winning. You can check out these graphs yourself on the website of 338, and you're going to see that he started off the year in a strong position, but he is now collapsing. People are onto the games that Ahmed has played with the people. And what's really interesting is the next graph for Ahmed's writing to show that the strength of the Portuguese, the Spanish, and the Italian communities in his district. These numbers are the numbers showing the percentage of people who speak that language in the house. It doesn't even include the second and third generation. It doesn't include people who speak some Portuguese or some Spanish or some Italian. So Mr. Hussein has lost the Portuguese, he's lost the Spanish, he's lost the Italians, and he's now paying the price. He took politeness for stupidity, he took silence for consent, and he's now going to pay the price. He's going down, he's toast. What's even more dramatic is in the writing of Davenport. If we can have what's happening in Davenport here. In Davenport, the NDP is online. It's 99% chance for the NDP, for Andrew Cash to defeat Julie Derowitz in Davenport. Once again, these are very good studies. In that writing also, the powerful Portuguese vote, the solid Spanish vote, and the older but always voting Italian vote. And it's safe to say that Julie has lost those constituents. She went to too many banquets, said a lot of nice things, flashed her smile, drank the wine, but at the end of the day, the people knew they were getting a knife in the back. And when you're at 1% chance of winning your riding, you know you're paying the price for your treachery. And that is what Julie is now paying for. Now, but I didn't come here today just to talk about the defeat of people who don't deserve to win. We're talking about the goal here is to deal with the new people, the new government, with new ideas, with the new team for immigration, especially for the undocumented workers. And once again, a few people have worked really hard in lobbying for the undocumented. A lot of people are to be thanked. But I just want the community to see how tough it is to lobby and to push for the interest of the undocumented. If we can have, Raphael, if we can have some pictures here, please. Now, the intensity, this is what happened earlier this week in Ottawa. Most of our viewers know Manuel Alexandre, they know Alzira Lima, and it's not easy driving all the way up to Ottawa, going up there and confronting Minister Hussen and putting it right to his face, telling him that he has no option but to stop the removal of people back to Europe, to Portugal, people who pay taxes. It takes a lot of courage, and I really respect those people who travel a long way to put it right to the minister, right to power, speaking truth to power, and putting it right to him. So he can never say, the minister in this government, this Liberal government, can never say they didn't know, they weren't told. They were told right to their face up until the last minute. Because until October, Hussen is the minister. He'll be responsible for removing your neighbors, your friends, your employees from the country. And they can never say that they didn't know, they weren't told right to their face. And I respect those people who have the courage, the guts to put it right to his face. Does he listen? Absolutely not. But he can't say he didn't know. And a picture's worth 10,000 words. So I thank Manuel and I thank Alzira. Next, the other pictures. Now, with Ahmed, it was dealing with the past. And when I say today the ships are sailing, they're sailing in the right direction. And this is the other side of lobbying, dealing with the new team, educating them. And I know that in 2015, Trudeau also said good things before he turned his colors. But let me be a little biased here for a second. You know, I'm a conservative, and I particularly like people from Saskatchewan. And Andrew Scheer is from Saskatchewan, and he deals with farmers. And with those folks out there, you tend not to lie to them, because you lie to them once, you're dead in the water. So I think Scheer and the Conservatives, it's hard getting a commitment from them and hard getting a promise. But I know they've been lobbied hard by Manuel in the committee, and people working really hard. And I know the party, the Conservative Party, and Mr. Scheer, a while ago, announced their immigration policy. They didn't mention undocumented workers specifically, but they got really close. And we know they're studying the issue, and I believe these people. Now, so let me finish off by once again thanking the individuals who have carried the load on behalf of the community for lobbying for good immigration projects. I'd also like to reach out to those who have misplaced their trust in Ahmed and Julie. The time has come to support those committed to helping the undocumented. I know there's many business people out there who flocked to Ahmed and they flocked to Julie. It's only a natural instinct to go where the power is. But I'd ask those people now to come home, to reflect and to think that when you're down by 99%, you ain't coming back. When you're down by 2/3, it's going to be really tough to come back. And I'd ask the community leaders, the club leaders, the employers to sit back and reflect, have a cup of tea or a glass of wine, and to say, you know what? It's time to start lobbying the new team. It's not necessary to apologize for supporting Ahmed and Julie. It is what it is. But now it's time to get with the new team. The ships are sailing. And if you want to help your employees, your friends, your neighbors, your family, join those, please. Join those who are working really hard. Just don't sit back and expect somebody to keep doing all the work. That's selfish, and it just doesn't work that way. So please come out and show your support. Remember, it's not easy knocking on the door. Like the Bible says, we've got to knock on the door and we got to ask for help. But it is written that knocking and asking are the only way to receive. So once again, I'd ask the business people, the community leaders, the churches, to sit back and reflect. The change is coming. It's irreversible. When you're down 99%, I repeat, you ain't coming back. And Julie can go to all the receptions she wants. She can drink all the nice white wine she wants. But when she looks out in that crowd, she knows that 99 of those people out of 100, they've lost trust in her, and deservedly so. Now, I think that we're on the right path. I've seen this before. Over 40 years of experience has made clear that both good and bad immigration policies go in cycles. We are now leaving a bad cycle, a cycle of treachery, of deceit, of betrayal, represented by Julie and Ahmed. They're being rightfully punished. But the time has come to think positive. We're sailing out. We're going into the sea. The time has come for the community to come together again and support those who are fighting for immigration projects on behalf of the community, the country, and tens of thousands of good families. Remember, not everyone wants to be an immigrant. There are many people who just came here to make money and leave. Well, God bless them. And not everyone wants to become an immigrant. Not everyone will qualify to become an immigrant. Some will choose not to apply. A lot of qualified people will choose not to apply. This is what happens. I've been around a long time, and I've seen this many times. But our job, and the job of the volunteers, we're working so hard. Our job is to give the qualified people who want to start a new life with their families here, to give them a chance to be considered. And that time is coming. The ships are sailing the same direction. Join us. Thank you.